Hi, and welcome to Two Tired Teachers.
Today we're going to talk to you about Natural Bridges National Monument in southwest Utah. And
one of the things we want you to know about it, first of all, is that as of right now, the website says that the visitor center is closed.
They did have little envelopes outside where if you want that stamp for your book, you can pick one up and tape it in there. But this is something we were coming. Our goal was to come to Utah and hit the Mighty Five and then the North Rim of the Grand Canyon.
And honestly, since I turned 62 a month ago today, we were hoping to get that lifetime senior pass for the national parks. Since Visitor Center was closed, we did not get it, but we're going to try again at Canyonlands. The entrance fee on Natural Bridges was waived.
But what I was going to say is, this was not on our radar.
No.
This was not a place we had planned to come, but as we're old school, we actually got the map. And that's one of the reasons why we like maps, is we got the map, and as we were planning the trip, I saw, hey, there is another national, not a national park, but a national monument. And I'm going to be honest with you, this Natural Bridges has 3 bridges, and it also has some ruins, Pueblo,
pyroglyphics,
the ruins of the homes that were up in the cliffs, etc.
Cliff dwellers.
Yes, and so we talked about it. We really think that we saw some things that are going to be similar to arches.
Yes.
But I hiked a couple of the shorter trails, and both of them, it was the same 3 people that I passed on those trails. They were not crowded.
The trails are kind of butt kickers if you're from the flatlands of Texas.
But the thing that we really appreciate, 2 things about the National Monument. One is it's RV friendly, except for the campground.
Yes.
And we're making a video about where we're staying, which is out on an abandoned airstrip, which is a total of 8 miles from the entrance.
Yes.
It's 4 miles back to Highway 94, and then from that entrance, it's 4 miles
out to here
west, and it's great. It is big rig friendly, but that I appreciate that it's ADA friendly and RV friendly.
Now, if you need ADA accessible, I would not recommend any of the trails.
No, none of the trails.
Getting down to the viewing areas of these natural bridges would be perfectly fine for anyone in a wheelchair or with mobility issues.
They are paved sidewalks, and it tells you it's like 220 feet to the overlook. And in Natural Bridges National Monument, they have the world's second largest, longest bridge.
Natural bridge.
And so it was very interesting to be able to go there. And there are a couple of pullouts where it's a scenic overlook. But if you're towing and somebody's behind you, you can pull over and let them by. At the parking lots, I can't guarantee they would always be open. Like I said, this is the end of April, and there was light use.
Yes.
But there were places where you can pull an RV.
Yes.
Like we said, it's a 9-mile, I think we said this, 9-mile one-way loop around
the scenic
loop. And virtually all of those had a place where you can park an RV.
One or more.
I had a couple of spaces. You can park an RV, you can hike the trails, and take advantage of that.
They do ask if you're towing, that you leave your trailer at the visitor center.
Did they? Mm-hmm. I did not see that. I saw there are large...
And planning on hiking,
But, the visitor center has parking spots, but we also saw a number of Class Cs.
Yes.
Which that's what they're driving, so... Or if they're driving a motorhome, then they're going to have to drive it down in there. But so if you're towing a travel trailer or a fifth wheel, there would be a place you can leave it there at the visitor center.
But that's only if you're planning on hiking. The hiking itself, Sharon can talk about. I looked at it and said, I'm clumsy. I'm not hiking this. I'd like not to be at the bottom of the canyon.
The first one, the cliff dwellings things, I didn't realize it was going to be it wasn't that far. And it says it was only like a 50-foot elevation change. Well, total from up here to down here. They didn't take in all of these that...
the trail
part of it.
The trail itself.
It was doable, but I mean, there were a couple of places where you're just out on these rocks, and that it's not as well defined. At the bridge that I hiked down to, out on those big, large, flat rocks, they had small rocks kind of giving you a hint as to which direction you're supposed to go. But, you know, I am certainly not in the best health. I'm not the health I was when I was 20. But I was able to get down there and back up. And so
that's the important
part. But they had some massive trails if you're into hiking.
I think there's a 9-mile loop that goes, a hiking loop that goes around to each of the bridges and some of the ruins and other things.
I'm not sure. I think most of that is down in the bottom. So you
Yes.
probably, once you get down there, you don't have the elevation change. From what I understand, and I was going to ask the rangers, but once again, the visitor center was closed. Some of these, if you're actually going to hike all the way down to the base of the bridge, there are like rope ladders you're going to be. Some of these are extremely strenuous. But there is some information you can look at online. It's a little bit different than the information we picked up here, but
Yes.
that's where we got some of that information. But it is a gorgeous park, and the scenic drive is exactly what you would expect of a national forest or national park scenic drive.
Yes.
It is gorgeous, and I am so thankful we added this.
I am too.
To the beginning of our trip, because I think this is going to be by far the least crowded park
Yes.
that we hit, and it was really not far out of the way.
No, it wasn't.
We just came a little bit different route than we would have if we'd just been going straight to Moab first. But it was well worth it. Well worth it. And so, if you're hitting the Mighty Five, you might tack on Natural Bridges National Monument. Thanks for watching
Two Tired Teachers.